It's showtime.
We have such sights to show you.
Hello, cadets. Welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. I am General Lemuel T. Howitzer, retired, and this is episode 163 of our shows. We've been going a long time here, folks, and this is going to be an interesting show for a couple of reasons, which we'll come over to you for in just a moment. But let me bring up my able-bodied assistants, as I like to call them. And people are making fun of me on other shows about that. I don't know why. They are able-bodied assistants. Major Hazard and Master Sergeant Havoc.
It's a pleasure to serve, and I'm always very able-bodied for you, General. That's how I operate. You know, I'm very professional.
Well, I know that you're able-bodied for your boyfriend, Roland. So anyway.
We do a lot of bodied stuff together. Yes, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're one of those power. Well, I'm just saying we're famous. We're one of those power couples like that. What is it? Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, the football player. You know, me and Roland. We're one of these power couples that people love talking about us.
Jolie and Brett. Oh, wait a minute. They split up. Anyway, all right. Never mind.
We got a lot of haters, but that's because they're jealous.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we've gotten some comments from people about our qualifications for being able to do a show like this. We say that we fought monsters and that we've tackled monsters and stuff like that, but we've never really proven it. We never really showed any proof. So I put together a little thing, a little slideshow here, top secret files. The show kind of some of our I don't know, our greatest hits, some of our abilities. So let's start with Master Sergeant Major Havoc. His first name is Major, believe it or not. There he is. Look at that young man.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that creature.
Well, now, obviously this a few years ago, and there's this kind of secret experiment going on where somebody decided that it was a good idea to mix shark DNA with crab DNA, and we got this critter.
The crustacean shark.
It's a crustacean shark, yeah. Shark craboid, they called it, and yeah. So that's me taking a selfie with it right before I had a.
Got right back up. That's where you went back to see it a few years later, and it got a lot bigger.
Yeah, that's me, and it snuck off, and there it came back, yeah, for Shark Craboid 2, The Revenging. So yeah, and this here's me with a Yeti. A few years ago I mentioned that I took a trip to the Himalayas. And it turned out, that there was this village that was being menaced by a Yeti. It turned out to be just some fella in a suit. But then I met the real guy.
Like a guy in a white fur coat. He looks like he could be a drinking buddy.
Well,
he looks cold.
I thought so at first, but it turned out he is an all right fella. Once you get to know him, once you get past the smell. They're cool.
I bet it's tough. White wipe themselves after they go.
Well, yep. You know, you stay away from the brown snow. That's all
There it
I
is.
got to say about
Yeah,
that. So,
stay away.
and
This is what you're looking for
now,
Godzilla,
now,
the
yep,
rainforests,
yep.
and you
This
found
is
him.
I found him. Yep, and dang, if he didn't almost get me there, you know, there's me. I kind of let myself go a little bit there. See, the beard's a little longer there, but yeah, I had to run away because Godzilla, he ain't nobody to be messing with, you know.
He's
So
territorial. He's very territorial.
he is. Yep.
All
So
right. So
that
now, Major Maleficent Joy Hazard.
Because I got a lot of joy in my heart.
Yeah. You started out as a very promising high school student with very science minded. So NASA snagged you up right away, right out of the gate, and you worked for NASA for a bit.
Yeah, I got all kinds of degrees, and NASA is always very beloved to my heart. That's where I really became a confident scientist. I really learned more about myself, about my diligence, about the fact that I have a lot of courage. I got a lot of bravery in me that not a lot of colleagues have. So that's why they sent. Well, they send me on all kinds of missions and stuff that no other people can be. Can you look at the stare in my eyes here? If you look at this, you can see it's almost like a dead salmon eye. Look at that.
Well, I
I'm
know.
not intimidated at all.
Monkeys up in space. They used to send monkeys up in space, to man missions and stuff. And this was what it got my interest in you. Was that NASA had actually secretly gotten a hold of a skunk ape in Florida. And I guess it was hanging around, the NASA complex there in Cape Canaveral. And they were going to send him up into space. So you actually did a mission where you went up into space with a Bigfoot.
What I love about this photo, and it's my favorite photo for my whole career, because you got to see how glamorous and confident I look, and you can see that my friend here is looking with the same stare, the same brave eyes. And what I did was I thought I was going to be training him, but what I found out very quickly was that these creatures have very high IQs and they have very high EQs. So he actually started to train me in a lot of his information and knowledge. And so it was more of a camaraderie, and there was a rapport that was very equal between us. And I think that comes out in this shot. You can really see that we respect each other and we respect ourselves. And we learned a lot about outer space and the effects on the human body and on the primate body generally. Right. And we could compare and contrast between the humanoid body and his body, which is obviously, like you said, a little bit more like a great ape. And we learned a lot of things about humanity. So when we study creatures like this, or I would say entities, beings like this is a peer. We learn more about ourselves. When we find the differences, we can learn more about our own selves. So it's a beautiful thing to explore with other creatures.
So yeah, you were up in a space station up there for like 60 days, right?
Yes, and the effects of aging, one of the things that we found out was that the effects of aging on a female human, much like myself, is absolutely different than in a great ape. And so that data has been published. And so if anyone wants to look at that, and if you have access to the scholarly journals, you can look at that, and we can extrapolate to other animals and other creatures. And the next thing that we want to start doing is going into, we want to bring if we could get one of those giant squid, because giant squids are very interesting to look at biologically, zoologically. They're very complex animals. And so that's the next step here, is to see what the effects will be like, gravity, how it's different, aging, that type of stuff with a giant squid. And so my friend here was one of the first to really pave the way. He's a pioneer, is what he is.
Yeah. Now the aging thing up in space, it's probably, you were extrapolating earlier, it's probably because you exfoliate. So that probably helps you with the aging. Anyway,
I exfoliate, but he doesn't, but he doesn't.
You enjoy it. Well, they don't need to. They don't have to. They. Again, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. You enjoyed your time with the Bigfoot and studying with the Bigfoot for so long, so much, I should say, that you actually left NASA and you went cryptozoology. You joined a cryptozoological society right after, and this is you actually at Loch Ness in Inverness, Scotland, right?
Yes. Now I was in Inverness for quite a while. Now Alan is the person who actually he took other photos from other angles. This one was a selfie I actually took. I snapped this shot myself, and I was very happy. At some point, you might see the full video of this. But there's a guy named Alan, and he's been living in an RV on the banks there, and he's been studying and taking data of our friend Nessie and learning about what happened to the plesiosaurs, also studying the giant eel that live within this body of water. You know, the loch is a very, very deep body of water that has not been extensively studied. It's much like outer space. You got parts of the loch that are so deep that we've never even studied it yet, and it's connected to the Atlantic Ocean in a little part that opens and closes at different times of the year. So there's all kinds of stuff in this loch that people don't know about, and one of them is our friend here, Nessie, and we got a lot of samples and specimens from this body of water, the Loch Ness, of course, and those have also been studied. And I was really proud to be a part of this team. And cryptozoology is wonderful because what we do is we go from cryptozoology into actual zoology. We get rid of the crypto because sometimes you don't know if something is there, but you can see very clearly that she's right there next to me. So
I just don't trust crypto. Anyway,
don't buy the Bitcoin. I got in a tragedy about that myself. So I don't recommend crypto.
Well, I mean, crypto finances. Anyway,
that's what I'm saying. No Bitcoin, no Dogecoin. We don't do that one.
I've been fighting monsters for quite a while. And actually, your friend there was camped out by Aquahart Castle, right, in Inverness. So.
Yes, absolutely. That's right. Like a little bit behind us at a 45-degree angle, you would see it there. And it's absolutely so mesmerizing, particularly at night. You see it behind the backdrop of a sunset. You're going to fall in love. You got to go up there, General. You're going to love it. The people are so nice, but you got to try the haggis. The locals want you to eat the haggis. You got to try it.
I know what goes into haggis. I'm going to pass. All right. So I've been doing this a long time. I've been it kind of fell into it by accident, actually. And again, I've been doing it a long time. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of pictures of what I do, just a couple. And we're just going to share them here. There's me with my weapon of choice, flamethrower. And that is a very nasty spider-like big giant bug. Basically, and again, I like the flamethrowers.
To be honest, if this has better you than me, General, if this had happened to me, I would have fainted and died, and the thing would have just devoured me. I can't survive with a big rat.
I know you and spiders, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm like Indiana Jones and the snakes. You know, I can't.
We're gonna be doing 8-legged freaks soon, by the way, very soon. And this is me with a volcanic kraken, believe it or not. A lava kraken, we call them, and very nasty. So, you know, obviously you don't want to use a flamethrower against that. So I got a nice little, it's kind of a grenade launching bazooka, a little stronger than grenades. And that was enough to deter him and get him back into the volcanic area there. So that was a nice trip to Hawaii, and this is me doing a speech with Corporal Chaos, who used to be my assistant. He's very clumsy though, extremely clumsy. He was always hurting himself. So he's actually a mercenary now, believe it or not. He's off, earning money, being a mercenary. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff that has brought me to where I am today here on the Big Monster Briefing Room. And this film that we're about to do is the first, maybe the only silent classic that we're going to do. It really isn't a monster. It's a guy who's just been burned by acid. But he's a sociopath. He is a brilliant a person. He can do gadgets and all kinds of crazy stuff to kind of. That's why I tell people that I don't do mad slasher films in here, but you know we may do Saw, you know, because again that's kind of a different animal. Who knows? So anyway, we're doing Phantom of the Opera, the original Phantom of the Opera with Lon Chaney Sr., the man of 1,000 faces, I think, right? Man of 1,000 faces, right?
Man of 1,000 faces. Mm-hmm.
When I sat down to do the timeline for this film, a lot of these slides, a lot of this movie is tinted with different colors. And it's okay if it's tinted in yellow or pink, then we can see it. But if it's tinted in dark blue like this, it says Phantom of the Opera there. It's not going to be easy to see. And the entire end of the film is done in dark blue like this. So there's like a carriage chase. I'm going to tell you right now what it is. There's a carriage chase where Eric runs off with the Christine in a carriage, and it flips over, and the people are chasing after him, and they catch him and they throw him in the water at the end of the film and drown him, I guess. That's the thing is
that's a way to end that's a way to end the that's a spoiler alert. I'll just say that we got a spoiler alert.
And again, we are the Cliff Notes of horror movies and monster movies. You know, we're going to take you from the beginning to the end of the timeline of photos, and of course we're an adult show. So you know, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I curse like a sailor. So
I do it too. There's no way around it.
She does. She curses like a sailor. She's beautiful, but
y'all Yankees,
that mouth.
Y'all Yankees, you got such potty mouths, you know.
We got potty mouth because we consider that like an authentic way of honoring your fellow man. If you're ever up here in Yonkers and somebody calls you an MFer, just know that person loves you. They love you. They'll take a bullet for you. They love you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know.
We get that from Sicily, I think. It comes from
Havoc has been known to throw out an expletive here and there.
So he does the zinger, but he's more judicious with his zingers, which makes it more impactful, I think.
Judicious with his curse words. All right. Phantom of the Opera, 1925. This was the one that really, I think, kind of made. I think Hunchback of Notre Dame came after this by a year or two. Universal Studios obviously was using the Man of 1,000 Faces, and this actually really kind of cemented his career, made him super famous. So we get the Paris Opera House, and a show is going on, and I'm on a small phone here, so I cannot see anything. So you're gonna have to help me out here a lot, Havoc.
All righty. Well, we got the outside of the opera house, and then we got the inside, the big lobby with the big giant staircase. That's the
people get to go see the show. Yeah.
Yep.
And again, the next slide is the show.
All the fancy people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's the audience.
So there's
the show.
All the fancy people. Yep. And the conductor there in his little box there.
Yeah. So again, they're setting this up as the place with the show and the nice little ballet going on, dancing and stuff on stage. So they set that up nicely, and then we go to the manager's office, and two guys are buying the Paris Opera House from two other managers, and after they sign the papers and they've given the money, the guys are like, oh, by the way, it's haunted. There's a phantom. And then they head out. I mean, they weren't like that really. I mean, but
yeah, basically
they basically wait until the last second, and then they go, oh, by the way, this box here is haunted. If you see a strange dark figure in dark clothes, don't bother them. And they go and they look at the box that the guys were talking about, the box seat, and sure enough, the phantom is there when they first look. And then they back out scared, and then they kind of get the resolve, and they go back to the box again, and he's gone. So, what are we looking at here?
The ballet.
More show.
People just more of the show, and
they're setting up Shetton. They're setting up, what the thing is. Oh my God, these tinted slides! I will tell you that the scenes that have Eric and Christine together in his lair were in black and white. So I was able to colorize them myself, and they look a lot better. So all of those scenes we'll be able to see clearly. And this is backstage with the dancers, and they do some shtick with a guy who's scared all the time backstage, and they're always talking about the Phantom.
You know, I love the little ballerinas that come dancing down there, and there's one that she just kind of like just randomly like twirls every now and again, like.
Okay. I'm gonna be seen, says this extra.
Yeah, it's like, look, I'm a pretty ballerina.
So, did you actually see this version?
Yes, sir, I did. This is
With
the
the tinted.
This is the
I really wish
1929.
it wasn't tinted like this with the what do they call it? Sepia tone. But
Yeah,
it's in different colors. It's
Yep.
sepia tone. It's in different colors. Usually sepia tone is kind of a brown.
kind of a brownish. Yep.
Yeah, but this is like
Yeah.
pink. Some of it's yellow, and some of it's blue, and some of it's dark
Well,
blue.
Yeah. Well, this is the 1929 restoration. It's a little bit different from the original 1925 version, which was fully just totally black and white.
Ah,
And yep. So
I thought this restoration was done like much later, not back in the silent days still.
no,
But
it's
anyway,
still silent. Yeah.
all
All
right.
right. So what we're looking at here is, of course, they got the little backstage guy, and then there's this kind of mistress,
Mistress.
mysterious guy kind of lurking around, and everybody thinks he might be the Phantom, but we find
Oh,
out
the creepy guy. Yeah, the
Yeah, the
creepy guy
creepy guy.
is Ledoux. His name is
Ledoux.
Ledoux. It's played by Arthur Edmund Carew. By the way, Christine, our leading lady, who is an opera singer, and she's a good opera singer, damn it, is played by Mary Philbin.
Mhm.
And just a side note, I thought this was kind of crazy. When they redid this in The Man of a Thousand Faces with Lon Chaney, or with James Cagney, sorry, little peach tea, James Cagney starring as Lon Chaney. God, I keep hiccuping and belching at the same time. Anyway, I hate that. So they had a blonde actress in that scene for some reason when he's dressed up as the Phantom. So anyway,
Yep.
I just thought I'd throw that out there. But Mary Philbin's got nice dark curly hair, and I'm surprised she didn't play Esmeralda in Hunchback of Notre Dame as well.
Yeah.
Or did she?
I don't remember.
You can look it up. Anyway, so her boyfriend is Raoul Vicomte Raoul de Chagny, played by Norman Carey, and his brother Comte Philippe de Chagny is played by John St. Paulus, and they are watching the show from a box. They keep Raoul, of course, is smitten with Christine, and she likes him too,
Oh, Miss Sandy.
which we see later.
Yep. Well, hold on. Let me go back here. So you got all the dancers, and they're all,
Yeah.
oh, the Phantom, and they go talk to this guy, who's seen the Phantom, and he tells them this, just I saw him. He's all gnarly looking, and he's got no nose. And this one girl's
Right.
like, "See, I told you that he had no nose." And of course, he's got a little head there.
Well,
and
he
the-
had wires up his nose that pull his nose up. Anyway,
Yeah. So
that was tricks. He had wires
so-
pull his nose back, and then he put a
yeah,
cap over it to hold it in place.
yeah, he's
Well, he
Cheney
was
did all
going-
kinds of
A skeleton kind of look to his face because he'd been burned with acid. So again, it was
Right.
immediate makeup.
yeah.
And his teeth are really gnarly. And I guess he was probably ugly and gnarly before he had the acid thrown in his his
Poor
face.
guy. Yep.
But that just made matters worse,
Yep.
So, all right. But we find out later in the film that he's an escaped psychopath. He was on Devil's Island, and he escaped from Devil's Island. He's one of the few people to escape from Devil's Island because he's brilliant. He's very brilliant. He makes all kinds of gadgets and things. They've redone this several times. So with Herbert Lom and Robert Englund and was it not Gerard Depardieu? Who's the other
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler. There you go.
Yeah, get the musical version. Yep.
Why did they cast him anyway?
Yeah.
Anyway. So what's happening here now? Are they at the dressing room?
No, that's just more shtick with the little dude coming on.
Oh, the scary guy.
Little
The scary
elevator.
guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But they had to introduce this other guy who's the brother of the one who was talking about the Phantom.
Yeah, the one who's talking about the Phantom is a stagehand. He's usually under the stage. And later the Phantom kills him. And the brother, because he's in the way, he's causing problems. So the brother, Simon Bouquet, played by Gibson Gowland, is very vengeful, and he is the guy that leads the mob that kills Eric at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the office, there is a girl named Carlotta who sings in the opera house, and her mother, Carlotta's mother, played by Virginia Pearson, comes in and she says, "We got this note, and it's and you can see the note there. You can read it. Actually, I can't, but you can if you want."
All right. It says, Mademoiselle Carlotta, Christine Day will sing the role of Marguerite Wednesday night. Any jealous attempt on your part to interfere with the performance will prove disastrous to your career. The Phantom.
So she shows this to the two guys that now own the show, own the Paris Opera House, and they're like, "Okay, what are we gonna do?" And
I love her.
Huh?
I love her. I love this. She comes in and she don't mess around, and she's got this little fan that she waves in front of their face, and she just right here. I mean, she just
take control. She's a tiger mom.
Exactly.
And she is a very broad actress with a lot of hand movement and stuff.
Yep.
So they don't really resolve anything because they don't know what to do. I mean, what the hell do we do? And she leaves. And as it turns out, Carlotta calls in sick that night because she's worried, I guess, about the threat.
Mm-hmm.
And they do put Christine in to do the show, and she's brilliant. She's really good. And is that Raoul and his brother?
That's Raoul there in the light jacket.
Yeah, and is in the box. They're watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very happy that she's performing because she's kind of an understudy, I guess.
Yep.
And show goes off without a hitch. And he goes to her dressing room, right?
Yep.
And we find out that, hey, they're kind of got a thing going.
Yeah.
You got a thing going on. But then she tells him, my career, I have to, you have to forget about me. I do care about you, but you have to forget about me because I have to do things for my career and I just can't see you anymore. And he's like, well, he's not happy about it. I mean, this is, he's gotten this close to her and now she's pushing him away.
Yeah.
So he goes outside of her dressing room door and she starts to hear from the Phantom. He starts talking to her through the walls. And she, yes, my dear, yes, my Phantom. And she's all excited. She's hearing from the Phantom, and the Phantom's telling her, I'll make you famous, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. I'll make you a star, but you have to, you have to believe in me. And, you can't have any outside suitors. And,
Yep.
He's also smitten with Christine, who's very young, by the way. She's extremely young. She's like 17, 18 years old. So that's the story. I don't know if they actually say that in this movie, but she's supposed to be 17, 18 years old. They did mention that in the Robert Englund version. So anyway, he tells her, come through the mirror, I think. Isn't that the scene? I mean,
that's later.
It's later. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, he tells her, trust in me and I will make you famous, basically. And don't see anybody outside, just work hard and you'll be the greatest opera singer in Paris. something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next day, Carlotta's mom shows up again. She's got another note. And she says, look, my daughter called in sick last night, but she's not going to call in sick again. She's not going to be intimidated by this guy. So you have to protect her. So again, big fanfare. She goes out. And what she doesn't know is that the Phantom actually slips a note right then and there on the desk for the managers. And it's basically telling them, you better listen to my message. I'm serious. It's going to be bad if you don't. If you don't put Christine in and get rid of Carlotta, it's going to be bad. Basically. I'm like, whoa. But they do it. I mean, they let Carlotta sing.
Yeah, and there
They
she
let her do
is.
the show. And there she is. Yeah.
There she is. There's Carlotta.
So Carlotta is a diva. Yeah, she's a big pain in the ass. You don't see it a lot in this film, but in later versions, yeah, Carlotta is always a big pain in the ass. She's a real diva. And people are watching the show. Raul and his brother are watching from their box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the owners are like, yeah, see, nothing's happening. Everything's going off with without a hitch.
Oh,
see?
yeah. And
There's Christine.
Christine is on the side in the side wings, and somebody hands her like a business card or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. It's from the comp account.
It's from her boyfriend, from Raul,
Yeah.
right?
It's from
he says,
Raul. Yep.
yeah, come see me. Come on, please. Come on, babe. Come on, babe. All of a sudden, I'm Dennis Miller. Yeah, babe. Come on, see me, babe.
Yeah.
Chat. Come on up to my box, chat. So I can't read that.
Well, she writes a note that says, I cannot explain, but you must never attempt to see me again, Christine.
Yeah.
So she kind of blows
She's
him off.
under the spell of the Phantom.
Yep.
So he's like, huh.
Cock blocked again.
Give it. So yeah. Let's move forward. See if we can see what's happening here. So Carlotta's doing the show, right? And
yep. The lights keep flickering.
Oh, the lights start to dim. Yeah, that's what it is. And then the chandelier, he does the chandelier, right?
Yep.
The chandelier, he cuts it down. He goes, she's doing such a wonderful job. She's bringing down the house.
Yep.
And the chandelier drops on the center of the crowd. Dun, dun, dun.
Yep. Which I think this scene's in like in every version of this story.
Yeah, the chandelier scene is important. It shows how not resilient, but how brilliant, how clever he is to be able to manage to do all this stuff. And you don't take his words lightly. If he says, do what I want, you better do what he wants. So it's a disaster, and I can't see what's going on there.
Oh, it's just Christine like looking very concerned, and Raul like, Christine.
Yeah. Okay. And Raul sees Ledoux here, right?
Yep.
The creepy guy.
Yep.
But nothing really comes of it. But he sees the creepy guy and he's like, I wonder if he's the Phantom, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I guess. And this is when people are scrambling out of the theater in a panic.
Yep.
All right. So he goes to the dressing room. Raul. He goes to the dressing room and he's trying to figure out what the hell's going on with the Phantom and Christine. He's jealous. He wants to protect her. And sure enough, the Phantom starts talking to her again, and he tells her, come through the mirror. And she does, because the Phantom is, making her a star. But when Raoul comes into the room, she's gone, and he looks in the mirror and he can't find out what the hell happened. She's just gone. And he can't figure out how the mirror works. So she goes down and she meets Eric, the Phantom, and he has a mask over his face. So he's being mysterious. I don't want you to see my face. Come with me, my dear. Come down to the catacombs. So he takes her on a nice little boat ride down to his place, his bachelor pad. And it's rigged with all kinds of booby traps. And now we finally get color. Hey, folks, I told you there was going to be some color here, not just tintypes. And we see Eric in full color now with his mask on. And got a little flap over those gnarly teeth. You can still probably see them, though. And again, you can see his little eye holes. But because he's got the mask on and because he's kind of coming on strong, she's kind of creeping out. Ew, ew. She's really going to be creeping out when she sees his face. It's like, oh, no. This is what I get. He was very mysterious and cool before. Now it's just like, creepy guy.
Yeah. She should have seen all the red flags coming up, but nah.
But now, yeah, it's like, oh, geez, this is awkward. He's professing his love to me. Uh-oh. Gotta see it from Christine's perspective, okay, folks? So he's like, I'm going to play something that I wrote for you on my organ. He's like, okay.
Yeah, so everything's cool, and just don't take off a mask.
I must keep the mask on. I won't tell you why. Oh, and he shows her, he goes, you'll come down here and train with me. And here's where you'll sleep. And he shows her a coffin. It's like, okay. All right. This is getting better and better by the minute. He wants me to come down here and sleep in a coffin. Creepy guy. And again, he sits down at the organ and he's written some music. Evidently, he's a very good composer. He's written some music. In the later version with Claude Rains, he is a composer. He's not getting paid by the guys who own the Paris Opera House, so they get into a fight and they throw acid in his face. So that's why he's got this thing about them. But in this one, yeah, he's an escaped convict. A brilliant escaped convict. So he's playing this song at the organ, and she's right behind him, and she's like, God, I really want to see his face. Because if I'm coming down here and I'm going to be training with him, he better be handsome as shit under that mask. And she takes off the mask. Whoop! Ah! Ah! Yeah, we get the moment. And we see Chaney as Eric, the Phantom, for the first time. Yep. And they said that at the time this movie came out, women were fainting in the theater. They were fainting in the aisles at how scary he was.
Now, sure, they're probably screaming and.
This is a nice kind of shock moment. They build up to it nicely, and then boom, they give you the shock, the scare. It's a nice impact scare. And then he's so upset that she took his mask off. That was the one rule he had, and sure enough, damn it, she did it. So he says, "Feast your eyes, glut your soul on my accursed ugliness." What a line!
Great line, yeah. Glut your soul.
Your soul, bitch, on my accursed ugliness. Accursed. Where have you ever heard the word accursed?
I know.
So he gets in her face. You want to see my face, you idiot? Ah! Yeah, come on. So there he is in all of his glory. And again, he did all kinds of crazy stuff to his face. He put wires in his nose and pulled them back. and then put it under that skull cap that he puts on. And, he made some gnarly teeth. He's got, dermal wax on his cheeks to make his cheekbones look like skeleton cheeks. So there he is in full color. And she does a lot of reacting, as normally you would if you saw something like that. Da! Blast of organ music. Meanwhile, back at the Paris Opera House upstairs, they don't know what's happened to Christine. She is taken upstairs by the Phantom and put in bed. And there's a news article about the tragedy that happened at the Paris Opera House, and people died, and it's very bad. And she wakes up, and was it all a dream? What the hell did I just go through? And he's giving her little gifts and stuff. Yeah, don't worry. Just keep your hands off my mask, and the training will go smoothly, and we'll be together, and it'll be fun. Yeah. Okay. So now she's like, yeah, where's that guy Raoul? The Vicomte. Exactly. Maybe he could save me from this. He's the guy I really want to be with. Not this ugly, gnarly guy with the big nose. Pulled back. With a skeleton face. And his bad breath. So yeah, we're going through this, and yeah. Oh geez, I actually got okay. The reason I put this card here was because now is the part of the film that was actually colorized. I don't think it was the first color in motion pictures, but it's one of the first. And they actually hand painted each frame of the 35 millimeter picture, I guess. And again, they that was their color process. They had to carefully, meticulously paint each frame, with greens and reds and yellows, and so it's pretty impressive. Back in that day, it was pretty impressive. I'm sure people were talking about it. So they're having a big hoop-de-doo, big party, masquerade ball at the Paris Opera House, probably to raise money to replace the chandelier. And Raoul and Christine find each other, and even though they got masks on, they find each other. They recognize each other, and they run upstairs. Man, once they find each other, it's like, hey, let's go upstairs. And then the Phantom shows up dressed as the Red Death. And it's very impressive. He's got a nice skeleton mask on over his face, which is a skeleton face. You see what he did there? And nice big bright red outfit. He's the Red Death. Mask of the Red Death. So, and this was before, I guess this wasn't before Poe wrote it. So that was a silly thing that just popped into my head. So anyway, people try to compliment him on his costume, and he just kind of beats them away. Get out of my way. And there's a card there that says something about him and the Red Death.
Mm-hmm. Beneath your dancing feet are the tombs of tortured men. Thus does the Red Death rebuke your merriment.
Yeah. He's very unhappy with him. He just wants to cause trouble and mayhem and problems for these people.
Yep.
Swine. So Raoul and Christine go upstairs up to the roof, actually. And they see Ledoux. We find out later he's secret police. And he's actually trying to investigate the Phantom. And of course, Eric is one step ahead of them. He's already up there in his Red Death outfit, hanging on to, I can't say gargoyle, but
it's like the statue up on the roof.
It's a structure,
like a angel. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're making their getaway plans, and he listening in like
you gotta save me from this creepy guy that I haven't seen. He's really creepy. All of a sudden she's a valley girl. He's so gnarly. I mean, like, gag me with a spoon. I mean, I don't see this guy anymore. Uh, so, so he's listening to the whole thing. You know, be careful what you wish for. He's listening to the whole thing, and he's, I mean, super pissed because they're hugging and schmooching and all that. And he's up there watching him. He's like, ah! And you think, you know, I mean, it's a silent film, and he's really broad reacting. So you think he's making a lot of noise, and you're thinking to yourself, why don't they hear him up there? You know, making all this noise, crying, boohooing, sobbing, whatever.
But nope.
Because she's betraying him. She's gone back to Raul. So after they go back inside, he's like, I'll get them. They can't beat me. I'm one step ahead of them every moment. So inside we see Ledoux again. Ledoux finally introduces himself. He says, I'm secret police. I'm investigating the Phantom and is the menace of this opera house. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens here. What do we have here?
Just more parties.
He comes back in and he's like throwing people out of the way, throw people down on the floor. Get out of my way. God. But get out of here. I never should have come here. Stupid party. The next day, in the manager's office, they get a note. Can you see what that says?
Yeah, it says, well, I think it's actually the police office. Ledoux finds his card, says,
oh,
Eric,
that's right. Ledoux tells them who he is as well.
Yeah.
He tells the guys who he is.
Born during the Boulevard Massacre, self-educated musician and master of black art. Exiled to Devil's Island. Exiled to Devil's Island for criminal insane. Escaped. Now at large.
Yeah. So yeah, Ledoux basically tells him, I'm not the Phantom. I'm looking for the Phantom. This is who he really is. His name is Eric. And he's escaped from Devil's Island, and he's been here for a couple of years, you know, menacing your opera house. And now he's set his sights on this young girl, this new young girl, and we got to stop him. Something like that.
Yep.
I'm paraphrasing again a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I know.
Okay,
enough. So Raul and Christine meet before the show. And he says, after the show's over, I've got a carriage waiting. I'm going to whisk you away, and we'll be free from this place and this guy. And you'll be safe. And she's like, oh, I love you. I don't know if she said that. It's silent. Silent. She said, that's what she said.
Yeah.
So what they don't realize is Eric again is always one step ahead of him. He's listening and he knows what's going on, and he's switching stuff around backstage before the performance. He puts some I guess it's poison in one of the wine bottles that the guy's drinking, who's a backstage manager or something.
Yeah.
And so he kills him, and he kills the other guy, Simon's brother. And again, he wants to whisk Christine away himself.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, there's a scene where the little guy finds the body, and all you see is the silhouette, and it's creepy as hell.
Oh.
Of the guy hanging. Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I probably, because of the tint and stuff, I probably didn't see it and put it in the timeline. Some of the stuff's really dark.
Yeah.
Very possible. But yeah, thanks for mentioning that, because it is a point. So what do we have here?
Christine doing her thing, and Raul just checking her out.
Raul's watching from his spot.
That's my girl.
He's watching. That's my babe. Right there. Yeah. Hey, babe. And there's the guy in the conductor.
Yep.
And this is actually kind of a funny scene, because you know how the silent movies always kind of move a little faster than real life.
Mm-hmm.
So when Eric pulls this guy down, it's like really fast. It's like a comedy bit. So he pulls him down, and of course he shows himself to Christine so she will see his face. He's wearing the mask, You know, he's not showing his face, but she knows who it is, and it startles her. It catches her off guard. Oh, geez. And then the lights go out, and then she disappears. And the lights come back on, and they're like, hey, what happened to Christine? Whoa. So he has captured her and has taken her back down again to his catacombs, to his little phantom lair, his man cave. I believe that's Raul's brother. He decides to see if he can find out where the phantom is by searching underneath the stage. And what do we have here now?
Yeah, they find the two guys dead, and and they're trying to figure out what the hell happened to Christine.
Right. And Ledoux gets together with Raul and says, "Okay, now is the time. We have to find him. Let's go underground. Let's go do it. Let's see if we can find his secret lair." And he mentions the mirror, and Ledoux figures out how to open the mirror and gets him down underneath the Paris Opera House. Now, it's at this point in the film when you wonder, hey, is Ledoux working with Eric? You just never know where his loyalty lies.
Yeah.
You just kind of get this feeling he's really creepy. He could be an assistant to Eric. He could be working with him. But as it turns out, no, he is what he says he is. But I felt I should mention that. All right, back to color. Thank God. So, and some lovely color too, by the way. He's got her downstairs in his lair again. She's in a different outfit, different costume from a different show this time. And he's got his mask on, you know, so she won't like vomit. Sorry. And he's saying, "Look, I know about your plan with Raul and to go away, but you need to listen to me. You need to follow me. I will make you a superstar in the Paris opera world, and you'll learn to love me." Yeah, that's what they all said, the crazy ones. This really is it's a movie about a stalker, just a really brilliant kind of psychotic stalker.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's professing his love to her, and she's like, ew. And she's just not buying it. She's all about Raul now.
Mm-hmm.
And Raul and Ledoux are getting closer and closer to where they need to be. And then we find out that Eric has got kind of like a warning system that goes off on the wall there. And he goes, "All right, you stay right here. I'm going to go take care of this problem. All right." And he takes a stick off the wall. And he goes, "I'm serious. Don't go anywhere." I think there's a title card that actually says that. And then he goes out, and he takes off his mask, and it turns out this stick that he pulled off the wall is a tube for he can breathe under the water. And he puts it down. He gets down under the water, and it's Raul's brother. Raul's brother has found his way all the way down to the back of the stairways and stuff, and down in the basement and everything. He's found his way to the boats that take you to Eric's thing, his place, his pad, man. Meanwhile, as he is heading towards the boat that has Raul's brother in it, she hears Raul and Ledoux in the room next to her. He's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Oh, you're okay. Oh, great." And they're talking through the door. And then I can't see that. Usually when it's like pink red, it's Eric. I'm sorry, not Eric. Raul and Ledoux. But anyway.
Well, that's Raul's brother, and Eric's
scuttles his boat. He turns it over. He capsizes his boat and kills him.
Yep.
Because he's insane. He's psychotic. And then he goes back. Okay. Took care of that. Back to Christine. He comes back, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta stop talking to you." She goes back to the bed. He goes to the organ, plays a little music. And she's like, "Okay, can I go now?" And it's dark blue. This is the
Oh,
mob.
Yeah,
Get ready to go down.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
this is
find
when
out.
Simon says, I'm going to kill this guy for killing my brother. I'm going to
Yep.
kill the Phantom. And he rallies up the mob, and the mob go down trying to find Eric's place. So Eric says, you have to profess your love to me, okay? You have to marry me. You have to be my protege. I think this is where Raul like yells out, and he hears Raul. It's like, are you still there, Christine? One of those deals, you know. He's like, oh, what have we here? What have we here? He goes over the door. Oh, we have visitors, do we? Ooh. And of course, he has all kinds of traps and stuff set down here. This is actually very convenient for Eric. So he turns up the heat in this room. So the heat is sweltering and is burning Raul and Ledoux, and it's killing them. It's gonna basically roast them in about 5 minutes. So, and he says, okay, profess your love to me and I will save them. Or better yet, I have a little game we're gonna play. You can save him. And again, he shows her this scorpion and grasshopper in a trunk. And he says, if you choose the right one, you'll save your lover. But if you choose the wrong one, they'll drown. Or I don't even think he tells her what's going to happen if she loses at this point.
Yeah.
He tells her after the fact. So, okay. So now there's a big, long, tense scene where she's going, oh, should I choose the scorpion? Should I choose the grasshopper? I really like the grasshopper. But, you know, yeah. And he, all this time, he's over there on the sideline and he's like, don't choose the grasshopper. You could just see. He's like, oh, bitch, don't do the grasshopper. Do the scorpion. He wants her to do the scorpion. And, you know, these guys are like, what's going on over there? I don't know. But we're burning. It's sweltering hot. So hot. So again, they just drag it out. And Eric is like, she's gonna do it. She's gonna go for the scorpion. All right. And she picks the scorpion and flips it around. And that releases the water in the canal outside into the room where Raul and Ledoux are. So they're going to drown now. Instead of burning, they're going to drown. Which is, I mean, you know, when you're burning in a burning hot room and all of a sudden you get a bunch of water on you, you know, at least, you know, they got that relief. Even though it's short-lived, it's going to drown them. But at least they got the relief from the heat.
Yeah.
So yeah, the water's rising, and what happens is they actually go under the floor somehow. I'm not sure how they emptied out of this room and under the floor where Christine and the Phantom are now, but they end up under the floor because he raises it. He's like, profess your love to me and I will save them. And she does. She goes, okay, I'll marry you. I'll be your woman, whatever. And he has a trap door thing, whoop, that comes out, real thick concrete too, by the way, that opens up, and it shows them, and they're there. They're right there at the trap door. Oh, I thought we ran out of breath, you know, with the water and everything. So he rescues them. He brings them out, and of course she runs right to Raul, her man. That's my man. And that's basically what you see there. She's like, that's my man. And she's hugging him and squeezing him, and oh no, I should have known you lied, bitch. You're never going to be faithful to me. And then right at that very moment, the crowd gets really close and the alarm on the wall goes off again. So this is a very exciting, intense scene. So he's like, oh, damn it. And he runs with her. He runs past the coffin, and there's a little curtain by the wall. Oh, excuse me, by the wall there. The crowd is right there on his place now. They are right there. And Raul gets up and shakes off the water, and he goes into the other room where he saw them run off to, and he finds the little place, the hallway, the hidden hallway that they went down, and he calls back to Ledoux. Just as the people are about to come in the room, he calls into Ledoux, and Ledoux follows him, and they go out this hallway, which goes to the back door, I guess, of the Paris Opera House. And right there, the carriage. Eric has already knocked out the carriage driver, so he's going to take the carriage and Christine and haul Boogie. And here's where it goes all to dark blue, where I can't see a damn thing. So I just told you though. He gets in a carriage. He throws Christine in the back. He is the horse, the driver, the rider,
the driver.
That's controlling the horse buggy. So he's hauling Boogie down the street, and she's in the back buffeting around, and she finally wakes up, and she falls out of the carriage. She jumps out of the carriage, and then he looks over his shoulders like, oh, and he sees the people behind him, and he goes to stop the carriage, and it flips over. And always calls me when I'm doing a show. Anyway, so what you hear is my other phone.
Okay.
And this guy always calls me when I'm doing this damn show. Damn it. Anyway, so the carriage tips over. The people get close. He runs. He decides to let Christine go, and he runs. And they chase him to the river. And they chase him down a set of stairs. And then he holds up something that he's like, I'm going to kill you with this bomb, whatever. And they stop for a second, and he's like, just his last defiant move. And they pick him up and they throw him in the water, and that's it. It's not like they jump in the water and make sure he's drowned. But remember, this guy's pretty resourceful. They just throw him in the river, and then he doesn't come up.
Well, it kind of looks like there's a bunch of people on him, and I don't know. It looks like they kind of tore him apart. But...
They do beat the hell out of him before they throw him in the water. So maybe they broke some bones and stuff, and he couldn't come out, and he did drown. Evidently, he drowns at the end of this. That's what's supposed to happen. And there are no bubbles. And fini. That's it. That's the movie. So there it is. The original Phantom of the Opera with Lon Chaney Sr. And I'm sorry that the again, if you're watching on a computer, you can see stuff, but if you're watching on a phone, forget it. But the color pictures were nice, because we don't see Phantom of the Opera in color all that much with Lon Chaney Sr. So anyway, next week we're going to be talking Megan, the robot kid that's like a menace. And we hope you enjoyed this show. We hope you enjoyed our secret files that kind of show you our history and what we've done in the past. And thank you, Hazard, for all that you have done for me and this institute, the Big Monster Institute. And thank you, Havoc, for the same, for all that you've done for us and all the service that you've done in fighting monsters. And again, we'll be back next week with another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. Till then, keep an eye out for those big monsters. And by the way, Eric's got a face that only a mother can love.
This here's Master Sergeant Havoc. Thank you for watching this episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. Now, why don't you go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell next time big old giant monster comes calling. See y'all later.